portfolio. So stay tuned for that. So not to repeat too much again, WHO, we work with our own portfolio and we closely liaise with our agencies working in this field. We're supporting countries again with our regular normative work and again liaising with our other UN sister agencies. Part of an MOU, a Memorandum of Understanding between FIFA and WHO that will be established moving forward to support the organization, giving FIFA technical advice on mass gatherings and making sure this falls under the international health regulations, which I will also get to in just a second. So the Virtual Interdisciplinary Advisory Group, the VIAG, this is an informal network of experts taking a best practice approach where you want to do a proper risk assessment, taking a risk assessment approach of where you need to put your resources. You know, we can't sort of cover everything and we don't necessarily need to cover everything, so where are the biggest needs that can maximize our resources for the output, point of entry between two countries. But again, we're hoping that we can also leverage this and use this for mass gatherings. Preparing for the event, if there's anything in place related to trade, transportation, or travelers, people will be coming to your country, that it's communicated to, in this area of work, that we're fostering the communication and the leadership and making those resources and opportunities available for the cohort of mass gathering colleagues. And again, our role in fostering these collaborating centers. At the regional office, we're translating this onto the needs and specific CBRN response. I won't go through all of them because I've been given the times up here. So just the last slide here I have is the key messages I'd like to focus on. Just saying again why it's so important for the work that we do, that we move and be agile as they need to be. So again, just golden practice of preparedness, that you invest, you build, and then we also test. And then to review, again, as I kept saying again, that these best practices are not lost, that they're incorporated, and that we do have a sense of legacy. So thank you so much for your time, and I appreciate you staying here for the coffee break. Thank you.
We have a little bit of time just for one or two questions, if there are. Please.
My question is regarding the support that WHO provides in terms of sharing the experience between the countries. We have similar events that you carry, like the FIFA World Cup exactly, in Russia, in Rio, in London. So how does WHO bring those experiences to the country that is about to host the next one? Thank you.
That's a great question, and thank you for asking that, because we're always often posed this dilemma of how do we share these things, how do we get a repository. So there's a lot of networks that we use, at least in our area of work. These IHR national focal points are really the best conduit for health security and preparedness in a country, and they're tasked with disseminating this information basically through WHO and in their countries. So habitually and regularly we get these countries together and they are sharing their practices with each other. They have informal ways that they can again share exercise scenarios, share this legacy template, which we'll hopefully be building this year. And they have ways to sort of elaborate what would work well for them, what didn't work well. So we have formal ways to gather people, to convene them again, and provide platforms for them to share their experience. And then again, fostering this network of them informally via informal channels. And I believe we'll be working for making this a more standardized platform that people can log on and access. Otherwise, they do use some of these habitual channels, and I can tell you a lot of this happens offline, informally, but I agree we need to have better ways and more formalized ways, which we're working forward, that can be a bit of a repository that we can go in and sort of, that people can put information to, we can monitor it, and making sure that it's a bit of a library that people can access. So absolutely a great point you bring up.
Let me add two things. In the room we have Dr. Mal Slaughter from Public Health England. It's part of the formal program where WHO Collaborate Center is helping each and every organizer. There is the Observer program of the FIFA, in which the knowledge is invited from the previous organizer to the future one, and they're all interconnected. Same for the Olympic committees. And so in addition to what WHO offers, that Jessica eloquently put there are indeed formal mechanisms and very efficient to transfer knowledges country to country. So if you have any further question, you can waive yourself, Mark, and you can approach him for further detail. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Any other questions, please? No? Yeah. Thank you very much, Jessica. Thank you, colleagues. I think we call this session closed at this stage, and then there is a coffee break. It was a pleasure being with you, and I know that we will be talking more and working more on the preparedness and on the mass gathering activities and